Hello, everybody. My name is Alexa Newman, and I am a librarian at the Algonquin Public Library, and I am also a certified yoga instructor. I am coming to you today from the library. We are getting ready to start preparing to open up for the public. We are doing curbside service right now. Summer reading is now in full swing. If you have not signed up yet, I encourage you to do so. It's free and anyone can sign up. So please check out the website to follow the links to that. Okay, that's enough for the announcements. This is Yin Yoga, and I hope you all have a mat and you can get comfortable. Some of the props that I find useful in the class include yoga blocks. You see I'm using them today under my knees. A bolster, you could use a furniture cushion or something. Yoga straps are also very helpful. In fact, I think it's probably one of the most versatile props you can have. You can use it to replace a lot of the other props. Buying yoga supplies does not have to be incredibly expensive. You can pick up mats and blocks at stores even like Five Below. They have good beginner stuff. So with that said, I would like to invite you to get into position for our opening meditation. Yin Yoga, I guess, first of all, to let you know, is basically floor-based. It is a slow-moving practice. It works on our flexibility, mobility, opening up our joints, increasing range of motion. It is a very slow practice. We hold poses typically 3 to 5 minutes. And it is about working on our connective tissues and stretching. It is still a vigorous workout, so I encourage you to hydrate and to also make sure that you get some sort of protein afterwards. And I'll explain a little bit more about that later, but this is not without benefits for exercise as well. So with that being said, I would like to invite you to get into a reclining butterfly position. I will show that to you, but I am going to stay in a seated position to share the meditation with you. So, a reclining butterfly, bring your feet bottoms together, and you probably want to pull your bolster behind you, and you still may want to have the blocks. Feet bottoms together, and drop your knees out to the sides, and we're going to lay back on the floor and drop your hands down to your sides with the palms facing up. Like I said, if you're feeling pulling in here, like on your IT bands, if it's tight in your legs and it's painful, drop the blocks underneath by all means. Part of Yin is that we're trying to relax and release and let go. We don't hold any of our muscles tightly or tense. So relax. Once you are in this position, close your eyes and then start focusing on your breathing gently in and out through your nose. And I am going to talk about our opening meditation. So, something I want us to talk about, because we are all still pretty much at home right now. I want to talk about the energy of our space. Especially energy of interior spaces. You know, it's pretty overwhelming to think of all the spaces that we've been in over the years. And we know inherently that the interior spaces we spend time in impact us. But often we're at a loss to change most of the spaces we visit, even if we have strong feelings about their energetic effects. Some, like offices or schools, we spend time in to fulfill duties or meet goals. Others, like in museums or spas, We visit because we enjoy the activities that take place there. But our homes are unique. We actually have the power to shape that place or places that we call home into an environment that reflects and restores our energy and ignites our spirits. When you enter your home, it's as if your energy field suddenly expands to envelop everything within the walls. Your home space is part of your world, and in such a personal way that at times it feels like an extension of your inner self. Creating a space that ignites your light whenever you spend time there starts with simply bringing in more of what you love. A thing of beauty itself serves your body in a positive way. When you look at something that brings you feelings of joy, balance, and well-being, this experience benefits all four facets of your energy. So try to find beautiful things, bring them into your home, feel gratitude and joy from them, and watch how that changes you and your space. You might opt for rocks or plants, pillows, artwork, or a group of friends and family. Although widely different, each of these wields power over the energy in your home. Define the role that you want your home space to have in your life. Maybe it serves you a retreat from the demands of the outside world, as an appealing gathering place for your family, or the sophisticated apartment of your dreams, or a blank slate where you can express your creativity whenever you spend time there. If your home space has more than one purpose, list them all. Now choose one or two words that describe how you want your home space to feel. What words embody the energy that you want from your home? Are there specific textures, colors, or objects that you would associate with those words? Okay, and then here are some essentials to find your best home energy. Create a dedicated spot where you can recharge. Cut down or eliminate energy drains. Take stock of your surroundings in each new season and clean out or remove what no longer serves you. Bring nature inside. Set out reminders of your values and goals. Keep a few purely indulgent objects for the purpose of sheer joy or self-care for you or your family. And if possible, make your home a place that supports you in optimizing the other energy influencers in your life: people, movement, creativity, nourishment, and so on. So those are some things to ponder with all this time that we're spending in our homes. What can we do to make it a positive place where it feeds our energy and feeds our spirits as opposed to draining them? Okay, let's continue to breathe in and out through our nose. I hope you are very relaxed and are sinking into the floor here. Now is a good time to set your intention for your practice. This is a positive thought or feelings or wishes that we're going to send out either to somebody we love or the universe, or something that we want to focus on for our own growth. And when you're ready, you can roll onto your side and bring yourself up into a seated position. For a lot of us, crisscross applesauce is our most comfortable. You may choose instead to try a half lotus or fire log, whichever is most comfortable for you. So I am actually still feeling quite tightness during the IT bands. I'm getting the steps in and stuff. I don't have stairs ones. Feeling a lot of tightness in here. We're going to sit here, and I invite you to bring your hands onto your knees, palms facing up. And then bring your thumb and your first finger together. I want you to sit straight. Don't slouch and drop down. I want your back straight. And then relax from there. So don't pull your shoulders up. Drop your shoulders down. Relax and release all of those muscles. If you're tense somewhere, try and ride it out. You're going to be talking about riding the edge. Yoga should not be painful. However, we do want to have a little bit of resistance. So if you're on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is where you're just feeling absolutely nothing, and 10 is extreme pain, we want to be like a 4, where we're just kind of starting to feel like my muscles are getting a little bit of a work here. I'm feeling this a little bit. And as we hold the pose, you may feel the stretch deepening and relaxing because that we're actually having those muscles and tendons are starting to stretch, the muscles are starting to relax, and our body actually moves deeper into a pose. If you have to adjust like I'm doing right now, please feel free to do so. Sometimes it's very hard for us to be still. That is one of the primary goals of yoga, is to, especially is to try and find that stillness, find the quiet, be in the moment. Sometimes I find my still, my calm very early on in the practice. Sometimes it takes an entire hour before I actually start calming down. And it changes from day to day, from practice to practice. Don't beat yourself up over it. We are all unique, and each practice is unique. So let's breathe in and out through our noses and let go. Release those muscles and our legs. Maybe start at your toes. Don't scrunch them up, let them go. Relax your calves. Relax those thighs, the quads. Relax your glutes. Relax your back. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. Feel yourself just getting squishy and loose. You're melting towards the floor. Breathe deep from your diaphragm. In and out. Okay, that's been 4 minutes in that position. So it's now time. We are going to transition into hands and knees into a tabletop. You may wish to bring your bolster over for this next position. If kneeling is difficult for you, if you feel pain in your knees, you may wish to kneel on a blanket, fold your mat over so you have an extra layer of cushioning. To start to get to the correct position, I want you to kind of stand up here on your knees. I want them to be hip distance apart, so don't zip your legs in together unless your hips really are that narrow. Open them up a little bit, and we're going to have our tops of our feet flat on the floor. The position we're going to do is called melting heart. Yin poses have different names for the same thing that we have in a hatha vinyasa practice, sometimes also called puppy dog. So what we're going to do, let me back up here just a little bit, is you're going to extend your hands out, and then we're going to drop down. We're going to be keeping those Knees and hips straight. We don't want them falling back. But the goal is to try and drop your chest towards the floor with your arms extended in front of you. Now, if this is not available to you, that's where I was saying, bring that bolster in, and you can rest on the bolster, and then it's not quite as extreme, and you can turn your head to the side. Or if you don't want to do it lengthwise, you can also pull it down under your belly, and then your head will still reach the floor, but you have a little bit more support. Okay, this is a heart opener. Okay. You can, I'm going to turn and look at you all. You can, if your forehead is on the floor, you can massage that forehead, that third eye, and rub it back and forth. You may want to get a little bit more support and actually tuck your toes under, and that sometimes gives us a little bit of counterbalance. Also spreading your fingers wide. When we have our fingers spread wide, that sometimes helps us to get some balance and support. I want you to focus on releasing your muscles. That means relax. Once again, those muscles in your low back. And you'll probably feel yourself kind of sliding closer as your body goes into a deeper back bend. Okay, let's push up out of that. Back up to tabletop. We'll do a nice quick raise up into cat, drop down into cow, back up into cat. And now we are going to come down into our bellies. And we are going to come into Sphinx. Now in Sphinx, once again, first thing, shoulder and elbow, they're pulled into our sides, and your elbow should be directly under your shoulder. Have your hands open, what I call jazz hands, because that actually helps you with your support and your balance. Feet out, once again, tops of the feet flat on the floor. So your feet bottoms are actually facing the ceiling. Don't have your legs zipped together. Have them, once again, open into hips distance apart. And then for Sphinx, I want you to drop your nose down so the crown of your head is facing the wall in front of you. And your gaze is looking down on the floor, kind of, right below your hands, kind of at wrist level. Once you're here, relax. Release that tushy, don't clench those glutes. Feel your belly sinking towards the floor. You're going to be feeling the back bend deepening a little bit. So the entire pelvic girdle is releasing towards the floor. We're remaining strong with those elbows and shoulders. They're not collapsing down. They're still straight up. Okay, and if you wish to deepen this pose, take it to the next level. We're not moving our hands, we're going to just press up on our hands, leave them exactly where they were, and we're going to at the same time lift our face up, so now our gaze is going directly to the wall in front of us, and this is called seal, and it's a deeper back bend. Once again, relax. Sometimes when we push up, we tend to tighten those abdominal muscles. Relax, release them. Are you breathing? I hope you all are breathing. In and out, deeply down through your belly. Relax your jaw. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Now, if this is a little bit too intense for you, that's okay. Come back down in the Sphinx. Either is best. Follow the cues your own body is giving you. We should not be tensing any of our muscles. We are relying on the actual physics of our own body's skeletal structure, and if you are in correct alignment, you should be able to hold this pose for a while. You can definitely hold it longer than you think if you are aligned correctly. Yoga, there's a whole lot to alignment and having the proper stance, which makes each pose easier and where you get the most out of it. You can actually create more trouble for yourself if you are overextending, hyperextending in different places, or not stressing the right muscles. So what we want to do is let our body work for us. And as I'm here in seal, I am not stressing any of my muscles, and I'm really not feeling the pressure or fatigue because I'm balanced. Okay, we were up in seal. You could come on back down, just drop those elbows back to the floor. Bring your gaze back down to look at the mat. Take a nice deep cleansing breath in and out. And I want you to relax. Okay, from here, we are going to transition into a pose called broken wing. So what I want you to do is come down all the way onto your stomach, and you're going to turn your head so your ear is on the mat, You're going to stretch your hands out to your sides. So you're in a big T. And then we're going to push ourselves up onto our side. And you're going to rotate that back hand that's behind you, so the palm is now facing up. And then you're going to take the hand that's on the top and bring that around behind you. You're going to bend the top knee and leave your bottom leg extended. And if this is not comfortable for your head, you may want to bring either a block or a blanket or something to catch your head. If you're able to clasp your hands together behind you, feel free to do so. So this is what it looks like from the front. I'm now going to reverse so you can see what it looks like from behind when I'm talking about the hand clasp. Turning that back palm up. So we're getting a really good stretch here of those shoulders, opening our chest. This is another heart opening exercise. This is what it looks like from behind. And if you can't clasp your hands, that's okay. You may choose to just rest it on your hip, or if you want to bring the block around, you can even drop it on the block behind you. I want you to try and have your hips open. I don't want that top leg falling down. I want it where the knee is up, facing the ceiling. Take the tongue off of the roof of your mouth, and let's remember to breathe. Deep cleansing breaths. Imagine your breath moving throughout your entire body. In and out. Okay. Been 3 minutes on that side, believe it or not. So it's now time for you to come back onto your stomach. Stretch your hands out over your head in front of you. Point your toes and stretch towards the opposite end of the wall. Roll yourself to reposition. And then we're going to roll over and do it on the other side. So once again, arms out to a T. Flip that bottom palm so it's up. And then we're going to roll up onto our side. Bend that top leg. And clasp those hands if you can. We said you may want to have either a block or a pillow or a blanket to catch your ear if you're a little bit higher off the floor and it's not comfortable for you. Props aren't cheating, props are extensions of our bodies, because each of us, I'm going to come back around, I'm going to turn so y'all can see me. And I'm not talking to the wall. Okay, here we go. Boom. Okay. Props are extensions of our body, because each of us has a unique and individual anatomy. Some positions are more available, some poses are more available to us than others. And the blocks kind of help even out the playing field. So Some of us may have longer legs or shorter arms than others, and having props helps us to find the best expression of each pose for our personal physiques. When you're here, make sure you're relaxing the shoulders, all of the muscles in the back. Relax your head, don't pull it back, let it drop. Your chin drop towards the floor if you can. Don't let that knee drop forward, try and keep it facing up. A few more seconds on this side, and then we are going to transition into our next pose. And this is a new pose for our group. This is tadpole with a twist. You're like, well, what's that, Alexa? It is kind of a variation of a wide leg child's pose. So to do wide legs child's pose, our knees go out towards the edge of the mat. We bring our toes in. You may wish once again to have a block or a bolster with you. What we're going to do with this pose is we're going to come forward and we are going to take, I'm coming towards you so you all can see me, I'm going to twist my left arm under. I'm going to rest my shoulder, or my ear, sorry, on the floor, and then I'm going to bring my right arm behind me. Now you may be able to bring your knees further out, or you may wish to rest on your bolster, and then that way your knees can even drop further out. There. And then I'm dropping my arm forward like that. Do it that way. That way my head comes further down. Like I said, play around with your props till you find what feels right for you in this moment today. Let go. Relax, release all those muscles. And I think I'm actually going to bring my block in because I'm feeling I'm going to actually be able to deepen that twist a little bit more. There we go. Twists are very important in a stretch. We tend to ignore the muscles that wrap around our sides from front to back and back to front. Those are very, very important in stabilizing our core. Twisting stretches are also nice because they help massage our internal organs. We have connective tissue, fascia, all throughout our body. They're kind of like little bags of tissue. It's that white stuff. If you eat meat and you prepare raw meat, the white film that is around different muscle groups in a cut of meat. It also surrounds our internal organs, and it grows together, and it gets really sticky, and it gets kind of webbed and stuck together. And the less we move, the more it grows and sticks together, and we get what are called adhesions. And so twisting and moving in different directions helps keep adhesions from forming. And it also helps break them up. Okay, come back up. And you may want to drop the legs straight in front of you again. Drop that head, rotate it back forth. Maybe shimmy your shoulders a little bit. And, oops, there we go. We are now going to go to the other side. So, bring those knees back up and out. Now we're going to take the opposite arm and we're going to twist the other direction. I'd like you to visualize your breath. Flowing through your body. We're bringing in positivity, we're bringing in healing, we're bringing in life, we're bringing in energy to our body. So, imagine with each breath, you're bringing in, like I said, healing energy, vitality, and visualize it moving throughout your body, flowing through your circulatory system. Each breath comes in, spreads all the way through, down to your fingertips, down to your toes, and it's going to collect all of the negativity, all of your anger, your sorrow, your anxiety, your frustrations, illness, all of that, all of the toxins, the negativity, we're going to breathe out. It's going to come out. So inhale, we're bringing in new beginnings, new starts. Exhaling, getting rid of the old and negative. I'm starting to talk about connective tissue. Connective tissue serves a very good purpose for us in our anatomy, but it can get out of control. Often it develops to protect us. Scar tissue is a type of connective tissue, and you can actually sometimes feel it if you've pulled a muscle or if you've had an injury and you actually feel the lump of scar tissue like in your legs or your arms, and it can actually be very painful, and sometimes people use foam rollers, deep tissue massages to kind of help break it up. A Yin Yoga practice also is very good for helping to slowly work through and loosen and break up that connective tissue. And sometimes that connective tissue is what's actually inhibiting our range of motion. Okay, you can roll back to center. I want you to stretch out those legs. If you have a bolster under you, remove the bolster. And we're going to come up into a seated position. And we are going to stretch our legs out in front of us. We're going to do what's called staff pose. In Hatha or Vinyasa, in Yin we call it caterpillar. There are a couple of little subtle differences in caterpillar as opposed to regular staff. Once again, you may want to have your strap or your bolster or even a block nearby, depending on how limber you're feeling today. You can have our legs stretched out in front of us. Once again, not zipped together, a little bit apart. Want to make sure that your knees are not hyperextended. That by that means don't lock your knees. Locking your knees is not good. It actually is a hyperextension of a joint, and it can lead to injury. So always try and have what we call like a little micro bend in your knees. Okay. I want you to take your strap if you have it. We're going to wrap it around the ball mounts of our feet. Never put the strap on your arches. Once again, that could create an injury. You want it around that big fleshy pad just under the toes. I want you to, if you're using a strap, extend your arms, come forward, and as far as is comfortable, and then grab it there, hold on, and then just relax. You're going to let your head drop, and you're going to let your body fold forward. If you don't have a strap, you can hang onto your ankles, or you can grab, like I said, your bolster or a pillow, and you're going to allow yourself to curve forward, pull forward. We're not going to have a straight back to go back. It's okay to just kind of let yourself gently come forward. If you're hyper flexible, you can grab onto your toes if you want to come forward. I really like actually wrapping my fingers in between my toes. And then you get like an extra little massage in there, fall forward. And if you're even bendier, you may wish to take a block and extend a little bit more, and then grab the block and have it underneath your feet. So, and then once we're here, relax, release those shoulders. Relax those muscles in your pelvic girdle that wrap around your waist. Relax your glutes. Relax your thighs. Relax your arms. Saw me, I just realized mine were like extended straight. Just let them drop. Let your skeleton do the work of holding you up. Are you breathing in and out through your nose? Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Relax your face muscles. If you have a thought intruding into your head, acknowledge it and let it go. As you relax, you may find yourself moving more deeply, more fully into the pose. Normally, over the period of holding this in a yin practice, I find myself approaching my knees. And you may notice a sensation. I'm up here so I can talk to you once again instead of the floor. You'll feel the tension in muscle groups moving as we hold the pose. At the beginning of the pose, you may be feeling it in your back. And after a minute, it may be moving out to your IT bands, or to your hamstrings, or your shoulders. Be aware of where those sensations are. Focus on relaxing and letting go in those areas. Okay, if you have a strap or a bolster, it's time to begin sitting up and moving those away. We're now going to go back into a reclined butterfly. Again, that's what we started with in our opening meditation. And you may find now that you are stretched out a little bit more warmed up, that you don't need blocks under your knees or the bolster. And that's okay to deepen yourself into a particular pose. So let's bring those feet bottoms together. And then bring yourself back, leaning back. Hands down by your sides, palms facing up. And if you remember at the beginning of the practice, I had blocks under my knees because my IT bands were super, super tight. They've already loosened up here so that I'm just letting my legs drop and I'm not feeling that stretch anymore. Or the pain that I was feeling, the discomfort. I want you to focus on your breath, relaxing all of your muscles, relaxing those shoulders. Feel the muscles around your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, loosening, softening as you melt closer and closer towards the floor. Imagine that belly button reaching towards the floor. If you have outside thoughts intruding, worrying about what needs to be done later today, recognize that it's there and then let it go. It'll be there in a half hour when we're done. One of the great gifts of a mindfulness practice is learning to be in the moment and stop worrying about the future, fretting about our past, but just enjoying the fact that we are here, we are breathing, we are alive in this moment. Relax your face. Your breath should be slow, steady, full, deep breaths. Okay, I want you to fold your knees up so that your feet bottoms are flat on the floor. And we're going to grab one leg, one knee with both hands. Wrap your hands around the outside of that leg, the shin if you can. Drop the other foot down towards the floor. And then we're going to hug That knee in towards our chest, towards the armpit. But I don't want you straining those muscles. I want you just bringing it forward and relaxing. Once again, letting the skeleton do the work for you. Once your fingers are locked around, you can actually let go. And the weight of your body, your muscles, should hold everything in balance. Okay, let's release. Drop that knee back down. Pull the other leg up. And then we're going to switch sides. And even switch the hands, the direction of your fingers. If you have your left hand over your right, switch to have the right over the left. As you're clasping the hands around that knee, drop the other leg to the floor, straight, pull that knee up towards your chest, towards your armpit. Your head should be relaxed, flat on the floor. Okay, drop that leg down, that knee. We're going to transition into Shavasana. Now's the time, if you're starting to feel the pull or a pull down, maybe put on your socks or a sweater or pull up a blanket. Prepare yourself to set for our final meditation. I'm sharing with you a meditation. It's a mindfulness exercise. It was originally shared by a mindfulness teacher and monk, Ajahn Brahm. I encourage you to find yourself in a comfortable position and be kind to yourself. Now take your time to take a few deep, smooth breaths. Let each breath in represent nourishment and energy. Let each out breath signify letting go. Now gently close your eyes. I want you to imagine that you're holding two heavy shopping bags. Imagine how heavy they feel. Actually visualize the strain on your fingers and how much effort it takes to hold both bags. Their weight is actually pulling you down. The strain makes you feel tired and tense. Now, let the bag in one hand represent your past. And imagine it actually has a label on it that says past. This bag contains all of your regrets and mistakes, all of your successes and failures, past relationships, the choices you've made, and the sorrows you've felt. You may even be able to visualize all of your past experiences contained within this heavy bag. Holding this bag all day is tiring. Imagine that you decide it's time to let go of this past bag. You want to put the bag down and have a rest. So imagine slowly lowering the bag to the ground. Eventually, the bag makes contact with the ground, and as it does so, immediately you begin to feel a release. Eventually, your whole bag, representing all of your past, is down on the ground. You smile as you let it go completely. Imagine your hand opening, and imagine yourself feeling so much better. You're liberated from carrying your past around with you. Now, in your other hand, you're holding a heavy bag signifying your future. And imagine the word future written on that bag. This bag contains all of your hopes, dreams, and plans. And also all of your anxieties and worries. All of your concerns and fears about what may or may not happen. Holding this hefty burden is no joke. This bag slows you down. But now you know how to put this bag, which is full of your future, down. So imagine that you slowly lower the future bag until the bottom of the bag starts to make contact with the ground. You begin to feel a release. And as you continue to lower the bag, all of the weight is transferred to the earth. You feel an immense burden is lifted. Your hand is now free, and you completely let go of your worries about the future. And imagine yourself standing with a bag representing your past on the floor on one side, and a bag representing your future on the floor on the other. Because you are standing between the past and the future, where are you? You're in the best place to be. You are in the present moment. Give yourself the go-ahead to feel free. The bags are perfectly safe on the ground. Rest in the joy of being in this present moment. Rejoice in the childlike innocence of the here and now timelessness. Anytime you feel like you are carrying too much weight from the past or the future, practice this exercise. Put the weights down again. Bring yourself into the present. Okay, let's take a couple of breaths. When you're ready, start wiggling those fingers and toes. We're going to start coming back. Now, baby, make some circles with your wrists and your ankles. Shift your shoulders, your legs a little bit. And then gently roll yourself to one side of your choosing. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And then slowly bring yourself up to a seated position of your choosing. Bring your hands up to your sides. We're going to end our practice with 3 rounds of sun breath. We inhale, we bring the hands up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, up, exhale, bring them down. On this last inhale, we're going to stay up, capture positivity, light energy from the universe, bring it into our vision centers, into our hearts. The light in me sees the light in you. I honor you as you honor me. That is a translation of the word namaste. I thank you so much for being here today. Have a wonderful week. Be well, everybody. Namaste.